Well, today is eclipse day. Obviously, you're going to be seeing this video a little bit later, but today is April 8th, and the solar eclipse is happening right now. It's very few minutes here away from totality, what we're going to have the maximum coverage here in the northern part of Florida. I wanted to travel to see it, but it just wasn't feasible with our family to travel 16 or 18 hours to the north to see totality. It's got to be an awesome experience. It's on my bucket list of things to do. If the Lord ain't come back and we're still alive in 20 years, I think 20 or 21 years, it's actually supposed to be totality right here over our farm. So maybe we'll live that long and get to see it then. But we're going to enjoy what we've got. We're just a few minutes away from maximum coverage. I just got home from work. Started a little earlier today so I could get off a little earlier and enjoy it with the family. And I'll turn the camera around here and show you. So that's maximum coverage for us. We are at about 65% in our area, 65, 67, something like that. So not majorly impressive to what the rest of the country is going to see, but still cool nonetheless. I know a lot of people were freaking out, saying that this was going to be the end of the world. The end of the world is coming soon. Don't take me wrong, but I think as Americans, we're fairly arrogant. You know, we think the world evolves around us. There's 2 solar eclipses and 2 lunar eclipses that happens every single year on Earth, somewhere. But when the whole United States is going to get covered, that's it. You know, that's going to be the end. All the Bible prophecies are in reference to the United States, apparently. And I get a kick out of it. So, world didn't end, newsflash, but it is going to end soon. So, don't take it lightly. Be ready. Here's one more view of the farm. Definitely can see a lighting change, especially when you get into some of the sky parts. Looks a little darker, but pretty cool. Well, this has been a very busy weekend this past weekend for us here on the farm. I don't know if you can see behind me, you don't see a white pig in here. That is because we butchered her on Saturday morning. We've been having temperatures this last week in the low 40s when we wake up in the morning, and it was a perfect opportunity to take advantage of the last few cool days we got left and go ahead and get her put in the freezer. So she's our roasting pig for July 4th this year, our cookout. We did take the ribs off and went ahead and smoked them and ate them for supper last night, and they were delicious. There's nothing like homegrown pork. She's the first pig that we've butchered that has been born and raised here on our farm. So it was very exciting. She was the smallest of the 3. So these 2 here are quite a bit bigger. They're over here laying, so I can't hardly see them, but there you go. So these 2 black ones here, they are quite a bit bigger than she was, and she was 207 pounds gross weight. So she was a decent sized roasting pig. But happy to have that behind us and done. And I'll show you a couple other things real quick before we get started on our project for today. Since we started building our homestead 4 or 5, it's actually coming up on 5 years ago now, we have changed a lot. Our property's changed a lot. We now, you know, have cleared all this, and this is all pasture. Well, we only had this gate right here, and we had a 16-foot gate on the far side over there. So anytime I needed to get in with a trailer, it was driving all the way around the far side of the property to come in. Well, that's changing. We're working on this here now, and I got the braces built and ready to go. I just got to get the little hooks to go in the post over here. Already got the hole drilled on the bottom. Just got to drill the hole on the top and get the anchor bolts put in as soon as I get them, and then cut the bob wire out, and this will be a functioning 16-foot gate. And this is going to be sweet because it's going to allow us to be able to get to our corral back here for loading cows much easier. Once this is put in, I'll probably take that front gate out because I'm not really going to need it anymore, that 10-footer, and I'll use it back here on the back side of the corral for letting the milk cow out and into the milking parlor. You don't act like y'all are hungry. If you look right back here, you'll see little Samson. This is the little bull calf we've just weaned off of milk. What's up, buddy? He's been so happy to be out with the big cows. So he's right at 4 months old, and we just weaned him off of milk replacer. He's been eating grain really good. Actually prefers grain over the milk. Neither will though. And so we turned him loose. It's awesome. It's very encouraging too. We turned him out. I walked him out to be with the rest of the cows. He got out there, started sniffing around on the ground, found a spot of urine where one of the cows went to the bathroom not too long before. He smells it, immediately turns his nose in the air, just like bulls do. And then he goes over and starts headbutting with the steer. He's headbutting with the steer for about 10 minutes and was holding his own. I mean, the steer is another month or two older than him, so he is already trying to establish some dominance, even being 4 months old. So that's a whole lot more than we've seen out of this guy right here. Winchester has not been a good bull. What you doing, Willow? Look at you. Oh, yeah. You want attention. You want attention. Winchester don't even act interested in the cows whenever they're in heat. I mean, he'll follow them a little bit and then he's off on his own. What? So I really hope that he'll breed these cows before we get rid of him, because any heifers we get off of them could be bred to Samson, because there would be no relation. If not, then whatever heifers we get from him, we'd have to keep separated during breeding season or get another bull, and it's kind of a hassle. So really hope in the next 5 or 6 months he'll get to these cows, and then he is leaving and going to the market. So I've heard beef prices are going up steadily and will be for the rest of the year at the livestock market. So he might end up being of some benefit to us in the end. Who knows? Well, it's time to get started on today's project, and that is putting the rough cut siding we milled on the sawmill up here on the gable ends of the milking parlor out here. I think I'm going to build a little soffit down to match the 2x12s that we've got running along the side, and that way it's the lines all the same all the way around. I may change my mind once I get it built and get it up there, but I think that's the plan for now. So I'll build that soffit, and then we'll put the board and bat siding on the two ends. Gotcha. All right, you can add one in each one of these. Well, I was going to use a tractor to bring this, but it wasn't super heavy, and Christian decided he wanted to work on his muscles. I think they're going to be worked on and be sore. I'm going to bump it your way. Okay. Ooh, that's tight. All right. Go ahead and give me a screw. I'll fasten this side. Thanks. I am so excited to use this lumber. It's some beautiful wood. Well, we're going to use this all powers AC, DC, whatever inverter out here today, because this is the only power I have out here, and this works great. It won't run my skill saw, but it'll run this jigsaw just fine. So thank you, sir. Boy, that is some hard wood going through the edge of where that knot's at. That is not Home Depot or Lowe's whitewood spruce, that's for sure. Okay, I need that for a template, okay? Nice. Me likey. I know it seems a little crazy going back and forth like this. The reason I'm doing it is because all my cuts are the same length. And while I remember my measurement, I'm going ahead and cutting both sides. We're about to run out of light. Well, we ran out of daylight last night, so we're going to try to get it knocked out tonight. I really like how it's looking though. I think the cows do too. They've been hanging out here for a little while. All right, we're going to go ahead and put a trim board. This is one of the batting strips. We're going to go ahead and put one up here as a trim board along this bottom, I think. Just to give it a nice clean finish for the batting strips. I'm not doing any sort of soffit up here, so I don't think I'm going to run a board up here. Thank you. Level. I really like how that turned out. That pine is beautiful. You can see there's a little bit of green on it. That's like mildew, mold, something. I think it's more mildew than anything from sitting in there in my workshop out of the weather, but I didn't have each piece stickered to dry, and the moisture kind of made it mildew. But that'll dry out and you won't see that no more. Now, if you watched the video where we were actually milling this lumber on our sawmill, I've mentioned in there how there was some of the waves in the boards, and that was from, number one, I didn't have my blade tension set correctly, and number two, probably even more so, the number two is the blade is pretty dull. So when you're getting a dull blade and you got to push it through the wood real hard, it's time to change it out. So I'm going to be ordering another blade here soon. But it's fine. Like I say, this is rough cut. I didn't plane it down, didn't sand it down, nothing. It was just for siding on this little pole barn out here for the milking parlor and the feeder. And it looks exactly what I'm going for. So once that weather's out, that barn will look like it's been sitting there for 200 years, which is cool. Ideally, my logs would have been a little bit bigger. These ended up being about 12 inches, the planks. It'd been nice if it had been like 16, so my batten strips could have been 16 on center instead of 12, but I still think it looks fine the way that it is. It's pretty. The wood's pretty itself. Just the way it is, but it'll be pretty once it weathers out too. So just got to do the same thing on the other side. I'm probably not going to film that because it's all the same steps we just filmed, and that would be extremely boring to watch, and I don't want to put y'all through that. So we'll plug away at it tonight, tomorrow night, maybe the rest of this week until we get it done, and then we're going to jump inside and go ahead and get the milking stanchion built where the milk cow will be milked. Still trying to decide on I want to do a wood floor or concrete floor. I'm leaning toward concrete, but we shall see. I hope y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.